Today's question comes from Trish in Missouri. Our son graduated from high school in 2021. He decided to use his scholarships, working income, and a small subsidized federal loan to pay for college so far. He has done an amazing job with his finances. He had $17,700 saved for him in his 529, but he wanted to leave it alone and use it for his later years of school when he might need it even more. The 529 was doing so well, we neglected to look at the funds he was in and move it to safer funds as he got closer to 18 years old. It grew to $18,700 by 2022, but has dropped significantly to $14,800 as of today. We realize now this was a mistake. Now, with less than 3 years of college left, the market is still looking grim. Do we move it and cut our losses, tell him to use it all that he can now, or just wait it out? Also, Missouri, where our 529 is, as of right now, will not let us use 529 to repay back loans later. Thanks for the advice. This is interesting. I feel like the first thing I would do is just kind of talk to you guys about your mindset. I mean, you're saying that he's taken out federal subsidized student loans so far and that he's also doing great with his finances. I think the fact that even debt was on the table to begin with isn't great. You had a 529 available and then you still took out a student loan. I kind of would just challenge you first and foremost to go, let's not do debt. Like, let's first establish that mindset and take it off the table and then explore options from there. I think if that was kind of the conversation from the beginning, you probably would have used the 529 earlier on and he wouldn't have taken out a loan. But Dave, I'm curious about your thoughts on this.
Well, we're never going to tell you to take out a loan.
Exactly.
Period. Okay, so now we got to figure it out. Because here's what taking out a loan is in this situation. If you're taking out a loan so that you can leave this alone and let it come back up, that's like saying, I'm going to borrow $14,800 hoping and invest it in the stock market hoping it will go up. Well, you would never do that. That's dumber than a rock. And so, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to take out a loan in order to give this time to ride back up. What we are going to do is put Junior to work. Yeah, W-O-R-K. I want him busting it. And I want him, using Christina's materials and applying for scholarships, like a bazillion of them. I want him to apply. I want him working all the time. And then the other question I've got is, where is he in school? Is he in an expensive school you can't afford? So, in other words, if you want to leave this money alone and let it come back up, which is a good idea, actually, the only way to do that is find the money to pay for school.
Because 3 years, if he's got 3 years left, that's a lot of time.
It's going to come back up.
Right.
And you got to find the money anyway, because this is not enough to get him through school.
Well, and if they continue going forward with the way they're going forward, 3 years of taking out loans is going to add up to a lot of money. Like, you're saying that it's a good, he's done well with his finances so far, but 3 more years of taking out loans, that's not going to be good. So it's amazing the creative options you come up with when you take debt off the table. He's going to have to maybe look at what school is he at? Can he go to a cheaper school? Is there some sort of employer he can work for that has a tuition assistance program? What scholarships are out there? Can he talk to the financial aid office and see if they can offer him anything else? Like, when you don't have debt as an option, then you really start fighting for yourself and trying to figure out what are the most strategic ways for me.
A ton of these retailers, like Target, for instance, and others, are if you're working a certain number of hours, they're so desperate they're willing to pay tuition.
Legit.
And so, that changes the numbers on what you're making while working there. I mean, you might be making 18, you might be making $22 an hour and getting free tuition.
Potentially thousands of dollars in tuition.
Right.
Like, that is a lot of benefit right there. Plus, you're building your resume. I mean, you may be starting in a basic retail position, but maybe you can be a manager by the time you graduate.
So if you're not going to borrow any more money for the next 3 years, you got to figure out how to way to pay for college anyway. So while you're doing that, that gives you also time to let this money grow back before you cash it in.
Yep.
Because I'll tell you that in 12 months, I think you'll be fine. It's going to be back. That's my guess. Might be 18. But bear markets, there's very few bear markets would have lasted longer than that when you start this process. This bear market started basically at the first of this year. And a 4-year bear market is almost non-existent in history. There's almost none of them. And so, 2 years, you're going to be fine. 18 months, you're going to be fine. Something like that. You're going to make some money on this money. But the point is, you've got to have some money anyway to get through school without debt. And so we need to go find that money from working, from scholarships, and for work scholarships, whatever it is we're doing, and from school choice. and so forth. So you've got a lot of work to do, period, across the board. And the book is Debt Free Degree. It is in the Ramsey store at RamseySolutions.com, and it will help you with this process. And Austin, if you can figure out who this person is and how to send it to them, go ahead and send them one. Okay, I don't know what our connectivity is on all these questions that come in by email and other things. So, but if you can do that, get him one out, get her one out, I guess. But yeah, it's almost like we're doing good with our money while we borrow student loans is as dumb a statement as I don't have any debt. Oh, wait, I've got student loans. Yeah, that's debt. It's just, right. Those are both dumb statements.
But okay. I think there is that mindset now. People keep saying that student loans, it's good debt. And people just seem like that for some reason
Surely
seems to be.
God, people are starting to realize it's bad debt. I mean, it's so bad the president has to forgive it.
But still keep giving out loans.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. That's good. Yeah. See, you ruined the whole thing there.